Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. Today's snapshot is 15w34a and in this one we have three big changes. We got changes to command blocks, as you can see behind me. We have changes to combat. You can see a little bit of this as I scroll back and forth. That's right, look at the crosshairs. And we also have changes to maps as well, which is what we're going to check out first of all. So there's been some changes to the crafting recipes. If we chuck this thing in right here, the old crafting recipe to zoom out further is still the same. You can see it says 1.4, that'll change to 1.8. To shrink it back to 1 to 4, if we put some shears down, you can see we change it to 1 to 4. So I think the idea here is that you're cutting the map, which is a little bit trivial, but it uses durability on the shears as well. So anyway, what we're going to do now is make a new map by right-clicking on an empty one. You can see that we're here on the map. However, we're a little bit more zoomed out than default, and that's because the default will now be 1 to 4. So if we go and put this in the crafting bench and use the shears, we'll shrink it down to 1 to 2. And if we open this up, you can see that the cursor disappears, so, or the indicator if you want to call it that. So there are some bugs that are being worked out, but a big thing that I noticed is that when you make these maps, you're usually in the center of them, but now due to the scaling, when you bring it down to a 1-to-1 scale, you're not going to be in the center, so then you've got to go and find the center, which might make it difficult to actually get a group of these maps tiled up together if that's what you wanted to do. So obviously some things that are going to be fixed with this, but there's the changes for the maps. So now we're going to take a look at the changes to command blocks, and if you're not into command blocks, I think you can appreciate what's been done here. This is actually quite an elegant change. There are now 3 types of command blocks. There's been hinted at more on the way. Apparently there's textures for 9 in the game, and there could be 16 of these in total. So when you right click on a command block, you can change its type. You can change it to chain, which for some reason, oh no, I clicked on cancel. And you can change it to repeat as well. And then impulse would be the default one, which works like normal. If you power it, it's going to do whatever command is there. So tutorial. And when you change it, you can actually middle click these ones as well, and you can see they have different names: repeating command block and chain command blocks. As I said, this one works like normal, and this one will repeat. So when powered, it's going to repeat whatever's in there over and over again until you unpower it, which is pretty cool. You may notice though that there are some arrows on this, and that's because you can actually place these facing a particular direction, and this mainly applies to the chain one right here. So if I place them like this, the arrows face in that direction. We can go this side as well, and I do believe we can go up and also down, which might be a little bit tricky here. Yeah, there you go, but there's one facing down. And the way that chain ones work are actually really cool. You have to power the block, and then it has to be activated by a regular command block at the beginning. So when we power these, we're not essentially powering the command in there, we're saying it's going to be able to be used. So if I power this block, then you can see it says start the chain. So let's go and power the first 3 blocks of our chain, these ones right here, and due to the way which they're pointing, they're going to go to the next one. And now you can see it says start the chain block 1, 2 and 3. So there's 1, 2 and 3. But what's really cool is that you can choose which ones you want to be activated. So when we power this one again, it's going to run through the chain in a different order, which is a very elegant, well-designed feature that I think is going to be very powerful. And just a couple more things I'd like to mention about the command blocks. All previous contraptions should work as intended, as the impulse block right here still behaves the same way. Also, the texture is animated. I did notice that it is quite subtle, but the lights here change color, which is a really nice little addition. And also I played around with having a chain go around in a circle. So we start off here, it goes all the way around and points back into itself, and I found out that that's not going to create any sort of loop. So when it comes back to this one, it probably knows that the first one had already been activated. So now we're going to take a look at the changes to combat, and I just want to say I think this is really well implemented. We saw a little bit of it earlier, going from left to right. Now look what happens when I hover over my sword. It takes a little bit longer to charge up. Now it's probably very obvious what's going on here, but yes, when the charge is shorter like this, it's going to do less damage than when it's at the full amount. Now as far as I can tell, it's the same as always, that it'll do 7 attack damage. However, when that's not fully charged, it's going to do a significant amount less. Now one thing to notice here, as I've already said, is that the sword charges up a little bit slower. And even when you're punching like this, you can see that you would theoretically do less damage. You can see the hoe charges up pretty quickly, the sword takes a bit longer, and the axe takes up the most out of all of them. But you can see here the attack damage hasn't changed at all, which is interesting. So anyway, let's go over and kill ourselves a couple of creepers. We're going to do this the way that Minecraft is known for being bad at with PvP, and that is spam clicking, and you'll see that this is no longer going to be effective. I don't think anyone is going to disagree with this. Now, if you've been keeping count, we're up to about 9, 10, 11, 12 hits on this guy. There we go, probably 14 or 15 in total, and it took us a fair amount of time to kill him. As opposed to letting the meter recharge, you can get this guy in just 3 hits. And I think that's what everyone wants to see in this game, the removal of spam clicking, and it's been implemented really well. Now that little meter that you saw can actually be changed and displayed somewhere else. Let's change this to hotbar, and let's click, and where is it? I can't even see it. Oh, it's on the right hand side. This is my first time actually seeing that. Down at the bottom right of the hotbar, you can see the meter there. Personally, I think I prefer it where the crosshairs are, but there's the animation again. That one's really cool. I like it. One other small change I wanted to mention is with zombies. We've got a guy over here. He's now got a friend. They look pretty normal, right? When we go into game mode 0, their arms raise up and they chase after you. So a way to tell if a zombie's actually tracking you or not, you can literally see as soon as we change game modes, they identify us. They put their arms in the air. That guy was a little bit slow there, though. So they were the 3 big changes, and of course there's bug fixes and things happening as well. For example, the shulker behaviour inside a minecart no longer teleporting everywhere. Even when it's taking damage, it actually stays in the minecart, which is really cool to see that they're responding to these things and fixing them. But anyway, that's going to be it from me. This video, if you've enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like. It makes a big difference here on the channel. And if you didn't see the new video that I put out at the weekend for our new series, Did You Know Minecraft? Or sorry, Do You Know Minecraft? Then be sure to check that one out. There is a link in the description box and on your screen. But that's it. As always, thank you so much for watching these videos, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.